You just walked into Home Depot, grabbed the cheapest part off the shelf, and figured it would get the job done. 6 months later, you are standing in a puddle, wondering what went wrong. Here is the thing. After over 25 years of fixing what bad parts break, I know exactly which budget plumbing parts are worth buying and which ones will cost you 10 times more down the road. Today, I'm walking you through 10 common cheap plumbing parts from the big box stores and giving you the brutal truth on every single one. Stick around for number 8, because that one can cause thousands in damage. And the bonus tip at the end is something most plumbers will not tell you. The first cheap part we need to talk about is budget wax rings for toilets. This is one of the most common things homeowners grab off the shelf without thinking twice. You see 2 options, one for a couple of bucks and one for 5 or 6, and you figure wax is wax. But that is not the case. The cheaper wax rings are often thinner, less evenly distributed, and made from a lower-grade petroleum wax that does not compress properly when you set the toilet down. What happens is you get an uneven seal. It might hold for a month, maybe 3, but eventually that toilet starts rocking even slightly and the seal breaks. Now you have sewer gas leaking into your bathroom, or worse, dirty water seeping into your subfloor where you cannot see it. I have pulled toilets off the flange and found completely rotted subflooring because a $2 wax ring failed silently for a year. Spend the extra few dollars and get a reinforced wax ring with a polyethylene funnel built in. Better yet, look at the wax-free options like the Fluid Master Better Than Wax Seal. It is reusable, repositionable, and it actually holds up. This is one of those parts where saving $3 can cost you $3,000 in floor repairs. The second cheap part that gets homeowners in serious trouble is cheap braided supply lines. You know the ones. They connect your faucet or toilet to the shut-off valve, and they look identical whether you spend $4 or $12. But the difference is what is inside. The budget versions use thinner rubber hoses inside the braided stainless sheath, and the crimp fittings at each end are lower quality. Over time, that rubber degrades, the fitting loosens, and one day, while you are at work, that line bursts. Insurance companies will tell you that burst supply lines are one of the top 5 causes of residential water damage claims in the country. We are talking tens of thousands of dollars in damage from a part that cost you $4. When you are buying supply lines, look for the ones with a polymer core instead of rubber. FloodSafe makes a version with an auto shutoff feature that cuts the water if it detects a burst. It costs maybe $15 instead of $4, and it could literally save your home. Do not cheap out on supply lines, ever. The third part, worth a hard look, is economy faucets under $50. Glacier Bay, Aquasource, and whatever other house brand the store is pushing this month. Listen, I understand the appeal. You need a kitchen faucet, and there is one on the shelf for $39 that looks just like the one next to it, for $150. But when you take that cheap one apart, here is what you find. Plastic cartridge bodies instead of ceramic or brass. Thin chrome plating that pits and flakes within a year. Supply connections that are molded plastic instead of metal. And the real kicker, try finding a replacement cartridge for that faucet in 3 years. You will not. It is a proprietary size that they stopped making the year after you bought it. Meanwhile, a Moen or Delta in the $100 to $150 range gives you a brass body, ceramic disc cartridges, and a lifetime warranty that actually means something. They will send you replacement parts for free, forever. That $39 faucet is not a deal. It is a $60 faucet that you have to buy twice, plus the labor to install it again. By the way, if you are finding this helpful, you should know this is just a taste of what I have put into my book, 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes That Will Save You $10,000. It covers everything from leaky faucets to running toilets, step by step with diagrams. You can grab your copy by scanning the QR code on screen right now, or just use the first link in the description below. All right, let us keep going. The fourth part on this list is store brand PVC cement and primer. This one is a little more nuanced than the others. The HDX brand cement and primer you find at Home Depot will technically work. It is not going to fail catastrophically in most cases. But here is where the difference shows up. The cheaper cement tends to be thinner in viscosity, which means it runs and drips more during application. It also has a shorter open time, so if you are a DIYer who needs an extra second or two to position a fitting, you might not get a full bond. The primer is where I see the biggest issue. Budget primer sometimes does not soften the PVC surface enough to allow proper chemical welding. You end up with a joint that looks connected, but has not truly fused. On a pressurized line, that is a leak waiting to happen. Odie and Weld. On are the two brands I have trusted for decades. The price difference is maybe $2 to $3 per can. For something that is literally holding your water supply or drain system together permanently, that is not the place to save money. Also, check the manufacturing date on any solvent cement you buy. If it has been sitting on that shelf for 2 years, it has lost potency, regardless of brand. The fifth part that needs your attention is cheap toilet fill valves and flappers. Running toilets are probably the single most common plumbing repair in America, and most homeowners head straight to the store for a cheap flapper or fill valve kit. The problem is, those economy flappers, especially the thin universal ones, are made from a lower grade rubber that warps and deteriorates fast, particularly in areas with chlorinated water. A cheap flapper might last 6 months before it starts letting water seep past into the bowl. That constant running can waste 200 gallons of water a day and add serious money to your water bill. Corky and Fluid Master both make premium versions that last 3 to 5 times longer. The Fluid Master 400A fill valve is an industry standard for a reason. It is maybe $12 versus $6 for the generic, and it will run reliably for years. Same with their Performax flappers. They are specifically designed to resist chlorine degradation. When you are fixing a running toilet, buy the part once and buy it right. The sixth item I want to get into is budget SharkBite style push-fit fittings. And this is where things get really interesting. Let me be clear about something first. Actual SharkBite brand fittings are a legitimate product. They are approved by code in most jurisdictions, they use proper O-rings, and they have a solid track record when installed correctly. The problem is the knockoffs. Home Depot and other big box stores carry off brand push-fit fittings that look nearly identical but are manufactured to lower tolerances. The O-rings are thinner. The grab rings do not bite as deep. The brass is a lower-grade alloy. I have seen off-brand push-fits pop off pipes under normal household pressure because the teeth did not properly grip. If you are going to use push-fit fittings, and there are situations where they make perfect sense, buy the actual SharkBite brand or another reputable manufacturer like Tektite. This is not the place to save $2 per fitting. One fitting failure inside a wall can cause more damage than every fitting in your house cost combined. The seventh part that catches people off guard is cheap flexible drain kits, specifically those accordion-style P-traps and tailpieces. These things should honestly be banned from store shelves, and in many jurisdictions they already are. That corrugated flexible drain tube might seem convenient, because you can bend and adjust it to fit awkward spaces under a sink. But those ridges trap food particles, grease, hair, and soap scum like nothing else. Within months, you have a clogged, foul-smelling drain that is nearly impossible to clean out properly. Worse, most plumbing codes do not allow accordion-style drain connectors because they cannot be properly snaked, and they do not maintain the correct fall for drainage. A proper rigid PVC or ABS P-trap assembly costs maybe $5 more and will last essentially forever. It takes a few extra minutes to measure and cut, but that is time well spent. If you see a corrugated drain connector under your sink right now, I would honestly recommend replacing it this weekend. The 8th part on this list is big box water heater connectors, and this is the one I warned you about at the beginning. When you install or replace a water heater, you need flexible connectors to join the heater to your supply lines. The budget options at Home Depot are typically thin-walled corrugated stainless flex lines with basic brass fittings. Here is why they are risky. If your home has copper supply lines and you are connecting them to a steel water heater tank through a cheap connector without proper dielectric protection, you are setting up galvanic corrosion. That is where two dissimilar metals react in the presence of water and slowly eat each other away. Within a few years, those fittings corrode, weaken, and can fail. A proper dielectric union or a high-quality braided connector with built-in dielectric protection costs maybe $20 to $25 versus $8 for the basic one. When you consider that a water heater connector failure can dump 50 gallons of hot water into your home in minutes, potentially destroying flooring, drywall, and anything in the surrounding area, that extra $15 is the best insurance you will ever buy. Always use dielectric unions or connectors specifically rated for water heater applications. The 9th part worth examining is bargain pipe thread tape. That thin white roll of PTFE tape in the HDX packaging seems like such a minor purchase that nobody thinks twice about it. But here is what separates cheap tape from good tape. The budget stuff is usually 2 mil thickness, sometimes even thinner. It tears when you try to wrap it, it bunches up in the threads instead of laying flat, and it does not provide enough material to properly fill the thread gaps on a 3/4 inch or 1 inch connection. You end up wrapping 8 or 9 passes just to get what 3 passes of quality tape would give you. Professional grade tape, like the pink or yellow OD or Rector Seal tape, runs about 3.5 to 4 mil thick. It lays flat, it does not tear, and 3 to 4 wraps gives you a solid seal. The price difference is about $2. Now multiply that by every threaded connection in your house and ask yourself whether saving $2 on tape was worth a single leak. On gas lines, this is even more critical. Always use yellow gas-rated tape on gas connections, never the cheap white stuff. The 10th and final part on this list is store-brand plumber's putty. This is the gray clay-like material you roll into a rope and press under faucet bases, drain flanges, and strainer baskets to create a watertight seal. The cheap stuff works fine on day one. The problem shows up a year or two later when budget putty dries out, shrinks, and cracks. Once it cracks, water finds its way through, and you have a slow drip under the sink that can go unnoticed for weeks. Higher quality putty from brands like Odie or Hercules to Put stays pliable for years because of better oil content in the formula. Some premium putties are also stain-free, which matters a lot if you are working with natural stone or marble surfaces, where standard putty can leave permanent oil stains. For drain flanges and basket strainers, some pros have moved to silicone-based alternatives, which never dry out at all. But if you are sticking with traditional putty, spend the extra $2 for the good stuff. It is a small investment that prevents a frustrating redo. All right, here is the bonus tip that pros actually use, and it has nothing to do with any specific part. The biggest money-saving move you can make at Home Depot or any big box store is to check the manufacturing date on every plumbing chemical you buy. Solvent cements, primers, thread sealants, and even silicone caulks all have a shelf life. PVC cement loses its bonding strength after about 2 years from manufacture, sometimes sooner if it has been stored in a hot warehouse. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen DIYers pull a joint apart with their bare hands because the cement was essentially dead when they used it. Flip that can over, find the date code, and if it is older than 18 months, put it back, and find a fresher one. This one habit will prevent more failed joints than any brand loyalty ever could. The best part in the world is worthless if the chemical holding it together has expired on the shelf. That wraps it up. If this was useful, you will love the full book. 50 step-by-step plumbing fixes with diagrams, all in one guide. Link is below. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next video. Thanks for watching.